The film begins by introducing a man named Ronan, who works as an amateur boxer. After finishing his match, he receives a call from his father asking him to come home immediately. In addition, his father gives him a clue to visit an apartment building located at coordinates 156, though the building's significance is not yet explained. But from his father's panicked tone, Ronan quickly rushes home. Not knowing what has happened to his father, Ronan finds the house empty when he arrives, with no signs of his father's presence. As Ronan searches through the house, he encounters his sister Beatrix, who apparently received the same message. It's important to note that since their mother passed away, Ronan and Beatrix have not lived in that house anymore. Beatrix herself is already studying at a prestigious university, while Ronan, who has always had a penchant for violence, chose to work as an amateur boxer. After reminiscing, they check the garage, but there is no sign of their father there. Soon after, one of their neighbors, Harry, comes over. Harry is a new lawyer obsessed with imprisoning wrongdoers. Harry recounts that last night, he saw a group of men coming to their father's house, leading him to believe that the father's disappearance might be connected to that group. When they inspect the garage, they find a clue, a bag belonging to their father that contains a mysterious round object. Unsure of what the object is, they assume that their father has been kidnapped by someone and decide to report everything to the police. At the police station, their report is dismissed by an officer named Captain Stone due to a lack of solid evidence. They then inquire about the location of the apartment building at 156 Prospect, which turns out to be an old, unused building. After getting the address, they quickly head there. As they read the writings in the building, an alarm suddenly goes off. When they exit the building, they find the city in ruins. Sensing something is amiss with the sudden destruction of the city, they assume that the city has been hit by a nuclear bomb. However, the strange thing is that all the buildings are destroyed, except for the 156 Prospect building, which remains untouched. Not long after, a group of people arrives, shooting at strangers they encounter. Ronan, Beatrix, and Harry, witnessing the incident, quickly retreat into the building for safety, only to realize that the group didn't follow them inside. Harry then hypothesizes that the writings scattered inside the building belong to a different version of the world, from their Earth. This Earth, of course, has a different history and events. Shortly after, a woman named Polly appears and confirms this assumption. Polly turns out to be one of the inhabitants of another Earth who is also trapped in the building. However, Polly seems to be accustomed to the interdimensional travel facilitated by the building. Polly explains that they are now on an alternate version of Earth. This current Earth they are on has been devastated by a nuclear bomb, leading humanity to the brink of extinction. Polly reveals that this building can teleport from one Earth to another. The teleportation occurs every 36 hours. Polly also warns them to stay inside the building before the teleportation time, as leaving during that period would trap them on this ruined Earth forever. Afterward, they decide to rest for a while. Later, when they fall asleep, the group from before returns and captures all of them. They are taken to a base for interrogation. When questioned by the group's leader, who turns out to be an alternate version of Captain Stone, Polly explains that they are merely lost and will soon return. The alternate Captain Stone is about to release them, but Harry accidentally mentions the name Captain Stone. This causes Ronan and the others from the building to be suspected of having a connection with the mysterious man who came out of the same building, carrying a box that turned out to be a nuclear bomb which destroyed the city. Ronan and Beatrix are taken by Tinker, where Ronan is tied up while Beatrix is interrogated. If Beatrix doesn't answer, Tinker, who is a sadistic scientist, threatens to shoot her with his makeshift weapon. Tinker then shows CCTV footage of a man leaving the 156 Prospect building carrying a nuclear bomb. Beatrix is shocked to discover that the man who destroyed this version of Earth is her own father. Beatrix refuses to believe that her father caused the destruction of this Earth. Tinker then asks where they are from. Beatrix replies that they are from a different version of Earth. When Tinker asks about the building, Beatrix struggles to explain. Enraged, Tinker threatens to shoot Ronan if Beatrix doesn't answer. However, Tinker doesn't know that Ronan is an experienced boxer who easily overpowers him. Ronan quickly frees Beatrix and the others, and they rush back to the building as it is about to teleport. Meanwhile, Tinker activates his makeshift nuclear bomb, intending to blow up the building. As a result, the group orders everyone to move away from the building. Tinker then heads toward the building, but when he arrives, he is mesmerized by its condition. Meanwhile, inside, Ronan and his friends are anxiously waiting for the building to teleport to another Earth. They all panic when the building doesn't teleport, but fortunately, just before the bomb goes off, they manage to teleport to another Earth. After they exit the building, they are astonished to find that this version of Earth has extremely advanced technology, with transparent electronics like phones and laptops. Polly then explains that this is not the future, but rather the same time and day as on their Earth. The only difference is that this is another Earth that is more advanced. They split up to search for Ronan and Beatrix's father. Ronan goes with Polly, while Beatrix is with Harry. At one point, Polly seems to forget their names. On the other side, Tinker has also joined them. When he sees the state of this Earth, he realizes that the building is a teleportation device. Another strange thing happens when Ronan tries to pay for food, only to find out that payment is done using fingerprints. However, his fingerprints are not in the system. This indicates that on this version of Earth, Ronan might never have been born, or could have already died. They then quickly head to Ronan's father's house on this Earth, which happens to be located at the exact same address as on their Earth. Meanwhile, Harry, amazed by the advanced technology on this Earth, decides to take some electronics to sell back on their original world, which would make him very wealthy. When he tries to pay using his credit card, the payment is rejected because the system on this Earth uses a geometry scanner, a device used as an identification marker, as well as a place to store digital money. When Harry scans his fingerprint, it turns out that in this world, Harry has indeed frequently shopped at that store. The cashier also explains that Harry's house is not far from the store. Although slightly confused, Harry asks for his address and is shocked to find that his version on this Earth is a very successful person compared to his own self. Beatrix then attempts to open a laptop there to start searching for their father, only to find out that their father has already died on this Earth. At this point, Harry is also shocked to learn that his counterpart on this Earth is a corrupt lawyer who deliberately defends wrong companies just to earn more money. The company he defends has committed numerous murders for business profit. Not aligned with his purpose of being a lawyer, the original Harry uploads all the corrupt actions of this Earth's Harry and the company he defends to the internet, so the public can know about their crimes. After finishing, he quickly leaves but accidentally encounters Beatrix's counterpart on this Earth, who turns out to be his wife. Elsewhere, Tinker on this Earth receives a call that someone has hacked his identity to purchase many electronic devices. And it turns out that person is the original Tinker, or the Tinker from the ruined world. The purpose of Tinker buying tools on this Earth is to create a reactor that can disrupt the system of the building, because Tinker himself believes that the building does not move on its own, but is controlled by someone. Meanwhile, Ronan and Polly, who have just arrived home, take out the round object from before. Polly explains that the object functions as a means to take them to the core world, but the problem is that no human has ever reached that world yet. Polly also explains that some other versions of this Earth always have similarities. With that in mind, they check the trunk of their father's car, and sure enough, inside the trunk is their father's bag, just like on the previous Earth. When they look inside, there's a note telling Ronan to leave the house immediately. But soon a few people show up, trying to enter the house, just like at the beginning of the film. After defeating those people, Ronan and Polly realize that their father is in trouble. They then quickly head back to the building to check on the situation. Upon arriving at the building, Ronan accidentally sees the Harry of this Earth, who is panicking because all of his wrongdoings are starting to be exposed. Inside the building, Ronan, who spots Tinker, almost attacks him. But he stops when Tinker explains that he wants to find out who created and controls this building. Tinker reveals that this building has 8 floors, but strangely the 8th floor cannot be accessed. Using a device he has assembled, Tinker can cause a slight disturbance to the system. When the system is disrupted, it will attract the attention of the building's creator to come out. Shortly after, the sound of the elevator opening is heard, and Ronan and Beatrix are stunned to see their father step out of it. Tinker quickly demands to know why their father detonated the bomb that destroyed the alternate Earth. However, their father doesn't provide any explanation, only stating that all the answers Tinker seeks can be found on the 8th floor. Upon hearing this, Tinker rushes to the 8th floor. Meanwhile, their father explains to Ronan and Beatrix that the building has been operating for years, and that the round object is a device that can help them find their mother, who was a cross-dimensional traveler. Just then, Tinker returns from the 8th floor, warning them not to trust anything their father says. But before Tinker can elaborate further, their father shoots him, killing him instantly. After killing Tinker, their father leaves them behind and walks away. Shortly after, the building's alarm begins to sound, signaling that another teleportation is imminent. Thanks to the device that Tinker had assembled, they can now determine the coordinates of the Earth they will be teleported to. Once they arrive at another Earth, they exit the building and start searching for any signs of their mother. Meanwhile, it becomes clear that there are not just one but 3 versions of Polly inside the building, each from a different Earth. These 3 Pollys compete to decide who will accompany Ronan, Beatrix, and Harry, which explains why Polly seemed to forget their names earlier. The film concludes with Ronan, Beatrix, and Harry stepping out into a new world, ready to continue their search, while the mystery of the building and their father's true intentions remains unresolved. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, because by subscribing you have supported me to make better videos. See you in the next video.